Good morning. Myself, Arul Soumya, working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So here we are going to see a topic on data sources. That is, the topic is the rise of graph database. So firstly, what is graph database? So a graph database in the sense, here the database designed to store relationships. That is, here we are using nodes, edges and properties. So nodes denote entities and edges denotes connections and properties denotes information. So the next one is reason for the rise of graph database. So the main reason of the graph database is it is a traditional database. It is struggle within complex relationships. Like it has a faster relationship queries, better data visualization, flexible structure and real-time analysis. So graph database and relational database. So these are the difference. So in graph database we have nodes and edges. In relational database we have tables with rows and columns. So in graph database this is constant data and represented by edge between the nodes, and here it is opposite to it is inconsistent data, and it is established using foreign keys between the tables. And here in graph database it runs quickly and do not requires the joins. In relational database it requires complex joins between the tables. So real world use. Here the firstly the rise of the graph database used in a so firstly in a human resource, by financing and by supplying the process, we can get a product, and then using the identity and security, finally it's sent to a customer review. So popular graph database. So popular graph database are Neo4j and Amazon Neptune and ArangoDB and TigerGraph. So what are all the benefits of graph database? So graph database benefits. So here, firstly, a graph database used in a flexible data architecture, and it import and export the functionalities, and it increase the performance. So in flexible data architecture, we can take an easy to add nodes or change relationships, and it is excellent for hierarchical relationships, and query language is similar to natural languages, and no databases or data architect review needed for updates. So in import and export functionalities, a dynamic import and export functionalities have processed here. And in increased performance, the graph database is highly performant, and especially on hierarchical and multi-relational data. So in granular insert, edit, update data elements, the application performance monitored by an expert to analyze the database graph. So these are the applications of graph database. Here the human resource get an operations and finance, and then process the manage risk and manage strategic initiatives to give the customer service. So using the application, we have designed and we have done a website and we have done an ERP. By this we can store the data in a data centers, and then so here the network manages overall the infrastructures. So in design, ERP and website, the application have handled this design process. And in managed risk, the process have been done by in a data centers. So conclusion. So in conclusions, we can get how the graph database is designed to store and manage highly connected data. So here we can see how they use the nodes and relationships that makes a data connections easy to understand. So basically, a graph database provides faster query performance for relationships based data in a data centers, and it offers flexibility and scalability compared to traditional database. So here we can get a perfect process, like we can get a summary in a format of how a graph database have managed. So basically, first it designed to store and manage the connected data in data centers, and then after the performance, and then it can get a comparison to traditional database. It is flexible and scalable, by the way. So these are all the graph database, high of graph database process. Thank you.